for the episode of Figure Review. Today, as you can tell, we have Boy himself, the beautiful Inosuke, one of everyone's favorite. Again, not mine. My favorite out of the four is Tanjiro. But you know what? That's cool. Inosuke is still another cool favorite of mine. He's really nice. But I am happy to finally get his figure. I sadly did not get the one exclusive because this is an exclusive. It does come with an extra faceplate. As you can tell, he's wearing his boar head here with this beautiful window. But if you get the exclusive, you do get an extra faceplate, which is of course of his beautiful pretty boy face. And yeah, I didn't get that because that's way more money, and you have to order that from the official Kotobukiya store, which is the company that made this one. And yeah, we're gonna get him out the box, get him in some badass poses, and we're gonna see how beautiful this boar boy really is. Alright guys, and we're back. Okay, we got him out the box. It was kind of tricky to get his swords in his hands. I'm really worried for pan transfers, and let me know if anyone else had that issue, because it's a really tight squeeze getting his sword, and this part comes off and then this part comes off, so you gotta like kind of fit them in on the same time. But besides that, he was pretty easy to put together. He does come attached to the base. You cannot take him off of it, which no problem there. All of the Kotobukiya Demon Slayer scales, 1A scales that they've done, all been attached like this fake rock type of base. That's what, at least to me, it looks like a rock, but it's kind of smooth here, so maybe it's snow. I'm not too sure, but either way, he's attached, cannot come off. He looks amazing. I love the detail on the mask, especially the nose and the tip of his ears, that red, because of course the boar, he's a boar boy, that's what we all call him, right? But I really wish I had gotten his other faceplate, because I really want to know what he would look like in this pose with his pretty face showing. And if you get what his face looks like, it's this. Really cool, really cute, really adorable. I love Inosuke. Really funny. Tip when putting him together with the swords are not the sharpest, but you will get your skin stuck, because we all know why he likes his swords this way. Especially when putting in this one, because it is a little sharp. I'm gonna try to zoom in so you guys can see. But right there, those little edges on every tip, this got stuck to my skin, and it didn't make me bleed or anything, but it did pull some skin. So be careful with this, because it is a bit sharp. You will poke your finger. They didn't give any type of warning in the instructions that I saw. Normally they do if it's a really sharp object, so be careful. The tip of the sword is not too sharp. It's just like, of course, the tip of the blades. But it is a very good attention to detail. The shading on his kelp? Not kelp. What do you call it? The tarp? Tarp, I think. Basically, this is from the bear that he did kill a while ago. The shading on that is really amazing. I love, like, it goes to a light brown then dark. The lights around the middle and the tips and the ends are the dark. You can kind of tell on the camera, but no matter where you move him to, you always will see that nice attention to detail and shading. So that was something that was lacking in that REM figure that we did earlier. But I mean, besides that, like the muscles, oh my gosh, I forget how ripped this guy is. He's like muscles on the sides, and oh wow, he knocked over himself. Then like the muscle on top of more muscle, like this, and it's like crazy. He's super muscular. I mean, compared to Zenitsu and Tanjiro, I believe. And he's so flexible. Like, he can bend his joints any way, and that's super impressive and super cool. I remember when I first saw that scene, I thought that was hilarious, because he was just showing off how flexible he is. And and everyone first saw him, they thought he was going to be the like really rough looking boy, but he's actually trying to be this really pretty boy. But I don't know. I think that's really cute and clever how the mangaka did that. But again, going back into more, the sculpting on the abs is beautiful. Like the shading, and I like how like it's a lot of attention to detail went into making his body. They probably put more attention into this more than like his bottom half, because he is shirtless almost all the time. He doesn't really like clothing. He was made to be in the wild. But I absolutely love the attention. Like he's ripped, this kid. But anyway, the mask you can take off, but again, because I didn't get the exclusive, there's nothing there. We'll go into the details about the mask a little bit more. The eyes is a really pretty color, the blue. Nice shading. There's no paint transfers I'm seeing there. The tip of the nose, really nice pink. And then the shading inside to kind of show the nostrils and the boar. The two hooves up front, really good detail. The shading of the boar head itself is, to me on camera, it looks a little greenish, gray kind of color, but it's not in person. Once you get it, it will kind of go exactly by how he is in the anime. If you head further down, it's a little bit shading in the darker area right here. The only main problem that I've seen is, of course, is the seam line, but it also kind of blends in a little bit with how they sculpted the fur, so it's not too noticeable. Of course, if I'm like staring at it like right here, you're gonna see that, but besides that, that's the only like seam line problem that I'm noticing. The tips of the ears are really cute. That's what I was saying earlier. I like the shade of pink, like it's a light pink going to a darker pink in the back. We're gonna put his head back on now. Inosuke, cooperate. There you go. And then again, going into both swords, the kind of the thing that he doesn't have a little, I don't know my katanas. I'm so sorry for people who know and I just can't come up with the right word. But you know, the part that the sword would normally go into, the holster, I don't know what you call it, but he has his bandages wrapped around it. So that is good attention to detail there. I like the shading in it. You can't really tell on camera. Let me see if I can get as close as I can to it. But there is a little bit of shading on both sides and around the end here. And the end of the ribbon that's holding, or string, or whatever you want to call it, cloth, that's shaded as well. Be very careful with this because these are really fragile. You can easily break this if he falls over anyway. And again, when I was saying be careful with the ends of the sword here, because you will get your skin cut or tagged on it like I did. I know I'm doing it anyway, but I'm just trying to show you to be very careful. The color on top of the sword on camera looks blue, but when you get it, it's like a little bit darker, like almost a navy type of blue. For me, I personally really like the attention to detail on his sword, and I love how he does this to his sword, because normally if you watch the anime, you know why he wants it to look cool. But I think it's super, like, Inosuke is super hilarious. The dynamic pose I absolutely love. The only problem I could say is you want to put him on a higher shelf because he's looking down, and if you put him on a lower shelf, he's just going to be looking like this all the time. So I would recommend, if you have any type of shelving where you want to put him on a high shelf so he doesn't look like he is looking too far down. Just, the sword. So you got to be careful with that too. If you hit the sword or bump it bare like I just did, it will come out of place. Anyways, but that's what I would do. I have my camera lowered so it looks kind of strange. This is the position you want him facing. The sword facing you, and this one behind him. It is behind him, but you know you want the ends pointed, like around where his foot is. You want it to match that. But it's gonna look really good when you have everyone together, the whole team. Zenitsu, Tanjiro, Nezuko, all of them together will be amazing collection. I know there is a pop collection of all of them from that illustration from the mangaka, and there are also pop figures being, not pop, sorry, they're what are they called? Yeah, sorry, I'm right. Pop-up parade scales are being made of all the Hashira, and I will get every single one because I love the Hashira. They're Uzui Tengen is my #1 in that show. He is my husband. I love that man, and I will get anything. I actually pre-ordered 2 full-on statues of him, and I cannot wait to get those scales. They're not even scales, they're literally statues. I can't even say scale because they're not. They're huge. I will have to show you guys what I'm talking about. If you want to follow me on TikTok, I posted a video about what it looks like, and I made a TikTok on basically pre-ordering it, and I cannot wait. It won't be here till like 2 years from now, if it doesn't even delay, of course, but I so certainly cannot wait. Anyway, back to the figure. I'm getting distracted. But we're gonna go into his pants. There is so much sculpting going on with his pants. It's literally everywhere. We know that his pants are really baggy, so they're trying to do that attention to detail to where it shows like the ruffles on the pants, the fur at the bottom. that kind of connects to where his feet are. All that is amazing shading and detail. I absolutely love. Kotobukiya is always a hit or miss for me sometimes, but when it comes to their like what do they call it, their ARTFX J collections, to me those are really good. They're not too expensive either. This one was probably like 110 the most. I mean, this has been a while since the orders. I could be wrong, but they're never above 150. They're always underneath. So if you're new to collecting and if you want to get a high quality figure that of course is official, go with Kotobukiya's ARTFXJ. It's a weird title, but I really recommend Kotobukiya in that regard because they're amazing scales, amazing color, amazing detail, and you won't be disappointed in their quality and some of their quality. When it comes to of course what I just said, the ARTFXJ, those ones to me are really good. And then going down to his foot, it's hard to tell on camera, but he has all his little toesies. He does have a little bit of like a shine on each toenail, like a polish. You can't really tell on camera because it's really hard to tell. Because it's not too much detail on his feet because they want you to focus more on, of course, his boar mask and more important parts. But I mean, there's really no other flaw besides that. But if you care about looking at his toes, the thing that's gonna catch your eye is literally his swords, the amazing pose, and his mask. Like, this mask is amazingly detailed. I've seen some Inosuke figures. I even seen statues of Inosuke, and I was so close to ordering one of them. But again, Inosuke's not my favorite, so I kind of didn't want to put money into character. Oh gosh, see, it's stuck to my skin. The camera won't pick it up probably, but it will get stuck to your skin. I had to literally shake it off. So be careful, please. This is where you're gonna put that little peg. It's what it looks like there, into his hand, and just kind of shove it in. You gotta be careful because you don't want to break it. It has a little plastic peg on this end of the sword. But yeah, besides, of course, that little problem, I guess, with the skin you guys clearly saw just now. I absolutely love this figure. I will give it a 10 out of 10. I think the price was worth the size. The quality of it was really good. I am not having any type of complaints about him. He is amazing. If you love Inosuke, I highly recommend this figure. You will not be disappointed. But I know there are a lot of people who simp for Inosuke as well. I mean, if you want a good looking Inosuke, this is where you go. Kotobukiya. You can get this figure on Ami. You can get this figure, I believe. No, Good Spot does not have this one anymore. You would have to either buy it secondhand or, of course, go to anime conventions, which is still secondhand. But you will have this figure should not be too hard to find. I mean, nowadays, because again, I ordered this a long time ago, the price might have gone up, so hopefully not too crazy, because Inosuke is really popular, of course. But hopefully you guys who are looking into getting this figure, you will for sure get it now, because I think it's worth the price. Just don't buy it if it's like $200. I really don't think it's worth that much in price. But I mean, besides that, get it. 100% get it. He is beautiful. He's worth it. The camera is not even picking up as much detail as you will see in person. Like, there's so much to see on his body. I know that sounds kind of weird, but the sculpting on just the abs itself, the muscles and all this is just amazing. Like, for Kotobukiya to do a pretty good job, or not pretty good, amazing job on this price that I paid for is a steal, in my opinion. So I'm really glad I got him. I gotta get everyone else now because I was late to the party. But yeah, get him. Get Inosuke for sure, for sure. If you guys love Demon Slayer, if you love Inosuke, I highly recommend this figure. It has a thumbs up for me. Just again, be careful with the swords. So thank you guys so much for this video. Thank you for coming by. If you want to leave a like, please do. If you subscribe for more. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.